So as we're wrapping things up here on the podcast, we're talking about something that's completely adorable, and I love it. Might not be adorable, though, depending on how the comic takes it or the manga takes it. I haven't read the webcomic, which has been turned into a manga, so I don't know how it's going to be. But basically, what it's about is, if you can see the YouTube title, you already know what it's about. But basically, it is a manga that centers on, the artist is a woman, identifies as a woman, and she's drawing her life with her, her husband, who is a female to male, transgender person. You just have to flip those, Tristan. You have to, yeah. So the point is that I'm an idiot. But what matters more is the fact that this, you look at the art, you can see the art if you're watching a YouTube video. It's just completely adorable.
Yeah.
And it's basically just it's literally all it is. It's just the author saying, hey, this is my man who was once bodily, right, not a man, but is now, and this is my life with them. And it's just, and the reason why it seems cute is because really, if you look at the artwork, it just looks absolutely adorable.
Yeah.
And my only issue is, of course, is that if it doesn't get too real, and it seems like because she loves this person and knows them, she kind of makes fun of them more than really documenting. Well, because, like, look, obviously I'm not expecting this to be a medical journal.
No.
It's just, it's just a manga creator's daily life with so-and-so, right? I mean, Junji Ito, who is a horror writer, basically did something called The Daily Life with My Cat. And the cat was, like, sadistic. And he drew the art where the cat was like a monster. I think you may have seen some pictures of it online. And Junji Ito, being the creator of stuff like Gyo and Uzumaki and not Marebito, although it might have been, but still, a lot of really iconic characters and a lot of iconic horror manga, like short stories and stuff like that. So I love Junji Ito. I don't know much about this author. And I know that usually, when it comes to like the daily life of, even if it's a horror creator like Junji Ito, it's usually done as a comedy. So, like, I'm not saying this can't be funny. I'm not saying that you can't have fun being with trans. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be terrible if I was like, no, you can't have fun if you're with transgender people. Like, what? No. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like, what are you saying? So, like, obviously you can have fun, with someone, and you can, draw this and, show them having fun together and stuff like that, and just the daily life of them.
Right.
My only issue is that if it ends up by accident making fun of him or them.
Right.
That might be an issue. And if anyone wants to know the exact title, they want to buy it. First off, sadly, it's not in English. Not yet, anyway. Maybe someone will pick it up. It would be nice if it was. It's not in English, but you can get it from like Amazon Japan.
Right.
And I don't have the Japanese title, but the English title is My Husband is Too Attractive. Yes, My Husband is Too Attractive. The Everyday Life of Yome-chan and Her FTM, female to male. Husband. So, yeah.
Right.
And yes, so it is drawn. I want to mention that it is the debut work of author and artist Tamu Ando, and I already mentioned so it's interesting. That's what I'll say. Like, I'm really happy that this is being made, only because, it's just a thing where it's like, hey, listen, right? Regardless of where you lie politically, regardless of what you want to say, these people exist. Like, they're here. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not, like, regardless of what you think, and you're just like, no, but you have to understand, but they're not unicorns. Right? Like, they exist.
Yeah.
Like, you can walk around and be like, oh, that's a trans person. Don't point. Please don't fucking point.
Yeah.
But but anyone watching the video, I pointed. But still, you can sit there and be like, yes, that is a trans person. Like, it's not like if you just, it's not like you're sitting there, you're just like, what? How, when did that? No, like, these are people that exist.
Yeah.
So the fact that there's, this manga being created, it really has the potential, even if it's just through comedy, of kind of opening up and showing that her life with her husband is pretty tame.
Right.
It's just going to be comical, normal stuff. That's why I said it can be a little awkward if it's just like, oh man, and try to like go for like a comedic thing that's like, that's not really funny necessarily. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want it to be like, the thing saying like, oh, he tries to be manly, but really I know that he's a woman or something like that.
Right.
Just like, no!
That would be not okay. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So it really depends on where this manga goes.
Right.
But I think it has a lot of potential of opening up dialogue, of really having people discuss things, and, especially in Japan, nothing against Japan, it's just that, I don't know how the trans community is treated in Japan. Right? I know that over the years there've been a lot of jokes in different Japanese media about, you know, men dressing up as women, not necessarily trans, but, you know, cross-dressing and things like that. But again, that's also true of Monty Python. And that's also true of American media as well. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it doesn't happen anywhere else. So in no way am I, you know, trying to put down Japan. I don't know how the trans community is treated in Japan. I don't have those stats in front of me. I don't know what goes on there with them and their community or the LGBT community as a whole. But I'm just saying that, just coming from like an American perspective, this is a really cool manga to exist, and I'm really happy for it. And you know, that it exists. I'm happy for the author going from a webcomic, making it into a manga, and you know, I wish them both the best.
Right.
So yeah, and I mean, I know nothing of the manga itself, so that's why I'm giving it that little cushion of like, I really hope that it isn't, you know, awkward.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, I would argue that the you know, her husband approved of it.
Yeah. Right.
Right. So you know, so the person in her life, the significant other in her life, approved of it. So I mean, I would imagine, I would hope.
Yeah.
So and granted, of course, he doesn't speak, or they don't speak for the entire trans community, but still, I would imagine that if there's anything that was extremely problematic, he would have been like, sweetie, no.
Right, have something to say about it, yeah. Or be like, can we change this? Yeah. Yeah,
exactly.
it does feel like this is coming from a good place. Like, it seems like just basically like a slice of life. Like any other slice of life manga that would talk about, and it's like from her own personal experience and his personal experience, you know, talking about their life together with their dogs, and you know, delving into some of the issues of like reassignment surgery and hormone treatment and other issues. And yeah, it seems like I said, it's coming from a good place, and I really hope that this does well and is well received. So.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see what happens as the weeks, months go on. I don't know if I'll ever talk about this again, but if a company licenses it, sure.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. Yeah.